Success begins first in the mind. A mind that is tense, restless, and distracted cannot build great ideas, cannot attract opportunities, and cannot make sound decisions. Relaxation of the mind is not laziness. It is strength. It is the ability to detach from noise, to silence fear, and to recharge your inner power. The greatest achievers were not those who worked endlessly without pause, but those who learned to command their thoughts, calm their emotions, and return to their goals with clarity and energy. When the mind is calm, faith becomes stronger. When the mind is peaceful, ideas flow more freely. And when the mind is relaxed, you can truly master yourself and shape your destiny. Remember this truth: you cannot control the storms of life, but you can control the calmness within your mind. And that inner calm is the foundation of lasting success. When the mind is in a state of confusion, every challenge appears larger than it truly is. Anxiety magnifies obstacles, and fear blinds us from recognizing opportunities that may be standing right before us. A restless mind cannot separate truth from illusion, nor wisdom from impulse. That is why calmness is not a luxury. It is a necessity for anyone who seeks success. Think of the mind as a mirror. When it is shaken by stress, it reflects nothing but distortion. But when it becomes still, it reflects reality with perfect accuracy. Calmness sharpens awareness, allowing you to see pathways others overlook. It is in moments of deep relaxation that sudden insights and powerful ideas often appear, because the mind, free of tension, can finally listen to the whispers of intuition. The most successful individuals do not make decisions in haste. They allow their minds to settle first. A calm mind does not panic in uncertainty. It weighs, it studies, and then it acts with certainty. And it is this clarity of action, born from inner peace, that separates those who stumble in confusion from those who rise with confidence. Clarity is not something found outside. It is created inside. It is the product of silencing fear, quieting doubt, and bringing order to the inner world. Once calmness takes root, decisions become simpler, vision becomes clearer, and even the heaviest burdens feel lighter. Faith is the foundation upon which every great achievement is built. Without faith, man surrenders to fear, and fear is the thief of all progress. Yet faith does not grow in noise. It is not born in a mind filled with constant worry and restless thinking. Faith is like a seed. It requires stillness and nourishment to take root. A mind at peace becomes fertile soil where belief can grow without interference. When the mind is calm, doubts lose their power. Worry cannot control you, fear cannot blind you, and hesitation cannot paralyze you. Peace becomes the silent guardian of your confidence. It whispers, trust yourself, trust the process, trust that unseen forces are working in your favor. And with that quiet assurance, you walk forward, not with trembling steps, but with steady determination. Every man or woman who has reached the heights of success carried within them an unshakable faith. Faith in their vision, faith in their work, and faith that the universe responds to a determined heart. But this kind of faith could not have been born in a restless mind. It required peace, because peace allows you to hear the voice of conviction when fear tries to drown it out. Peace strengthens faith because it removes the static of doubt. It allows you to focus all your mental energy on what you believe in, instead of scattering it across endless what-ifs and imagined failures. A calm mind no longer asks, will it happen? It declares, it will happen because I have decided it must. And that declaration, born from inner peace, becomes the magnet that pulls opportunity, resources, and people toward you. The human mind is a factory of ideas, but like any great factory, it requires the right conditions to produce its best work. Creativity does not blossom in an environment of stress and urgency. When the mind is overworked, pressured, and restless, its power shrinks. It becomes mechanical, repeating the same thoughts, circling the same problems, unable to escape the grip of limitation. But when the mind is allowed to relax, when tension is released and silence enters, creativity awakens like a river breaking free of its dam. Relaxation is not weakness. It is the master key to invention, innovation, and imagination. Consider how many great breakthroughs in history came not at a desk filled with worry, but during walks in nature, quiet reflections, or even moments of rest. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, and countless other pioneers discovered that the mind reveals its greatest secrets when it is freed from the chains of stress. In moments of calm, the imagination is given room to stretch beyond boundaries. Ideas appear that once seemed unreachable. Connections are made between thoughts that were once scattered and hidden. A relaxed mind does not chase creativity, it attracts it. It becomes a magnet for inspiration, pulling in insights from the unseen, revealing solutions that a restless mind could never grasp. When you relax, you are not escaping your problems. You are rising above them. You step into a higher plane of thought, where your vision is wider, your thinking is sharper, and your ideas are richer. Creativity is the language of the subconscious, and relaxation is the channel through which it speaks. If you would master the art of creation, you must first master the art of calmness, for only in peace does the mind reveal its true genius. The body is a servant of the mind, and the quality of your energy is determined not merely by physical strength, but by the condition of your thoughts. A restless, overburdened mind drains the body of vitality. It scatters energy in 1,000 directions, leaving you exhausted even before you have acted. But a rested mind, calm and collected, becomes a reservoir of power, one that strengthens both body and spirit. Rest is not the enemy of progress. It is the silent partner of achievement. Many believe that success belongs only to those who never pause, who push themselves endlessly without relief. Yet history shows otherwise. The greatest achievers understood the power of mental recovery. They knew that a mind constantly under strain becomes dull, while a mind granted intervals of rest returns sharper, stronger, and more determined. Think of the archer who draws his bow. If he keeps the string pulled without release, it will snap. But if he releases and then draws again, the bow retains its strength and power. The mind is no different. Continuous tension without pause breaks it, but with proper rest, it regains its full force, ready to strike with precision. The body is a servant of the mind, and the quality of your energy is determined not merely by physical strength, but by the condition of your thoughts. A restless, overburdened mind drains the body of vitality. It scatters energy in 1,000 directions, leaving you exhausted even before you have acted. But a rested mind, calm and collected, becomes a reservoir of power, one that strengthens both body and spirit. Rest is not the enemy of progress. It is the silent partner of achievement. Many believe that success belongs only to those who never pause, who push themselves endlessly without relief. Yet history shows otherwise. The greatest achievers understood the power of mental recovery. They knew that a mind constantly under strain becomes dull, while a mind granted intervals of rest returns sharper, stronger, and more determined. Think of the archer who draws his bow. If he keeps the string pulled without release, it will snap. But if he releases and then draws again, the bow retains its strength and power. The mind is no different. Continuous tension without pause breaks it, but with proper rest, it regains its full force, ready to strike with precision. Mental rest is not merely sleep. It is detachment from noise, from overthinking, from the endless cycle of stress. It is allowing the mind to breathe, to return to stillness, to renew itself. In that renewal, energy multiplies. The smallest task feels lighter, the greatest challenge feels conquerable, and the inner flame of persistence burns brighter. A fatigued mind quits where a rested mind continues. A weary mind doubts where a refreshed mind believes. The difference between defeat and victory often lies not in strength alone, but in the measure of rest that fuels that strength. Every great achievement begins with thought. Thought is the seed from which all action, all habits, and all results grow. Yet most people live as prisoners of their own uncontrolled minds. Their thoughts run wild, swayed by fear, doubt, anger, and outside influence. A man who cannot master his thoughts is like a ship without a captain. He drifts wherever the winds of circumstance carry him, never reaching the harbor of his true desire. But the individual who learns to calm and command the mind becomes master of his destiny. Control over thoughts is control over life. A disciplined mind directs energy with purpose. It does not scatter itself in worry or hesitation. It concentrates power, like a magnifying glass focusing the rays of the sun until they become fire. With such control, a person moves with intention, speaks with conviction, and acts with clarity. A restless mind is easily defeated. It obeys fear, it reacts to anger, it surrenders to doubt. But a calm and disciplined mind does not bend to these forces. It observes them, it recognizes them, and then it dismisses them. This mastery is not achieved through force, but through relaxation and self-awareness. For only a mind at peace can consistently direct itself toward its chosen goal. When you control your thoughts, you control your emotions. When you control your emotions, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your result. No man rises to great heights alone. Success is always built on the foundation of human connections, family, friends, partners, mentors, and allies. Yet the quality of these relationships depends not on how loudly we speak or how strongly we argue, but on the calmness we carry within. A restless mind breeds conflict. It reacts with haste, speaks in anger, and turns small misunderstandings into great divides. But a calm mind brings harmony. because it listens with patience, speaks with wisdom, and acts with understanding. Calmness is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate peace, because peace is strength they can feel. A calm presence creates trust. It reassures others that you are stable, reliable, and dependable even in storms. Where anger pushes people away, calmness draws them closer. Where impatience destroys bonds, calmness strengthens them. In business, in family, in leadership, the power of calmness cannot be overstated. A calm leader earns loyalty because he does not rule by fear but by respect. A calm parent earns the confidence of their children because they teach not only with words but with example. A calm partner or friend becomes a pillar of support, one that others lean upon in moments of doubts. This chain begins at the source, the inner world of thought. Every failure in life is first born in a thought of defeat, just as every triumph is first born in a thought of victory. To master thought is to master cause, and in mastering cause, you inevitably master effect. Conflicts are inevitable in life, but chaos is optional. When faced with disagreement, the restless mind fights to win, but the calm mind seeks to understand. The restless mind hears only its own voice, but the calm mind hears the voices of others. And it is in this willingness to understand that bridges are built, trust is formed, and cooperation is born. Calmness is not passive. It is power under control. It allows you to influence without force, to inspire without demand, and to guide without domination. In every relationship, calmness is the invisible wealth that multiplies opportunities, deepens respect, and creates bonds strong enough to endure the tests of time. The outer world is always a mirror of the inner world. A man who is in constant turmoil within will find his life filled with confusion, disorder, and missed opportunities. But the individual who cultivates inner calm begins to see that life itself responds differently. Circumstances, people, and events are drawn into alignment with the peace he carries inside. Success is not only a matter of hard work or persistence, it is also the product of mental vibration. A restless mind radiates fear, and fear attracts obstacles. A doubtful mind radiates uncertainty, and uncertainty attracts delay. But a calm mind radiates strength, confidence, and trust, and those very qualities shape the environment around it. Doors begin to open, conversations shift in your favor, and opportunities seem to appear at the right moment. Inner calm is not escape from life, it is mastery of life. It allows you to walk through storms without being shaken, to face failure without being broken, and to handle success without being blinded by pride. A calm mind does not chase after every distraction, nor does it collapse at every challenge. It moves with focus, guided by vision, undisturbed by noise. Consider the great builders of wealth, influence, and legacy. They understood that riches were not only gathered by strategy, but also by state of mind. A calm man thinks more clearly, decides more wisely, and acts more effectively. He sees what the restless cannot see, and he does what the fearful cannot do. His calmness becomes his advantage, and that advantage transforms into outer success. Wealth, health, love, and influence. They are not random gifts, but reflections of the inner state. When calmness becomes your foundation, the external world begins to take shape in harmony with it. Success is no longer something you chase desperately. It is something that flows naturally toward you, because you have created the conditions for it to exist. Remember this truth: success is not built in noise, but in stillness. It is not found in chaos, but in order. The man who learns to quiet his mind becomes greater than his circumstances, for he carries within him a power that no storm can shake. Calmness is not the absence of action. It is the mastery of action. It is the secret weapon of the wise, the hidden strength of the great, and the foundation of all lasting achievement. If you would build a life of wealth, influence, and inner fulfillment, begin not outside, but inside. Master your thoughts. Guard your peace, strengthen your faith. For when the mind is calm, the path is clear, and nothing in this world can stop the man who has learned to master himself.